if this is not the right trail, if this is not the right clue for this area, then in my opinion, this is the greatest coincidence in the history that we've ever encountered.
Yes, for sure.
Because where is this? Is it on the front or is it on the back?
It's on the back.
What color is this sign?
Red.
It's red.
Would you say it's dull red or would you say it's bright red?
It looks
It's
like a
bright
lobster.
red. It also has bullet.
And on the back of this bright red sign, what does it say in big black letters?
1776.
What are the freaking odds that this number, this year, would be printed on the back of
The back of a lobster red sign.
this lobster red sign?
Hello and welcome to Cash Me Outside. This is a special episode where you have actually caught us outside. I'm Caden, joined by Christian and Chad, and we are embarking on a journey. Our first triple threat hike, our first hike all together this hunt.
So
We've gotten a lot of crap over the last week for the audio of last week.
So we decided to take that feedback and take it on the road. We're using our phones. We have no idea how it's going to work, but
Yeah, this is going to be really bad.
it's going to be bad.
Stay away from me. We need to stay off each other's audio.
Hey guys, I see someone already. Okay, so we just parked at the trailhead.
we are just starting. I would stay right.
Yep. There are 3 cars in the parking lot. 2 are people likely fornicating, and the other one, I think, is someone up on the trail. And I think I see a headlamp bobbing out ahead of us.
Uh-oh, they got a head start on
I don't
us.
want to.
Are they coming back or are they going up?
They're coming back. I see them right there.
Ooh.
So
Well,
this is gonna be awkward. Let's go quiet for
It
a little
is.
bit.
you want to go
It's fine.
quiet, or do you want me to get into
No,
the business?
no. What if they're a listener?
Yeah, but if not, then it's gonna be like, what are these guys doing?
We're just
then-
chatting with each other. It's not,
Okay.
it's
I
not
feel like
we're-
it's
Okay.
low risk, high reward.
Yeah, we're just talking.
All right, you guys want some business?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So we've been talking about reviews. We got 2 3-star reviews this last week.
How's it going?
Good evening. How's it going?
It's a warm one.
Okay, that was
He's listening to us.
That was both more awkward and more scary than I expected.
yeah. He was none too pleased to see us. Maybe he came home empty-handed.
I'm not gonna lie, this is already a steeper trail than I
Then the
hitherto,
last one where you slipped.
thought.
Yeah, compared to your last one, Christian, how long do you estimate this hike being?
I don't know,
Oh,
because I don't know how to look at a Google map and be like, that's how long it will take.
I think we might die tonight.
My knee already hurts.
Hey, if people want a clue about where we are just passing an intersect of the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. So,
You know that
Ooh.
goes across the entire.
The intrigue.
exactly, that's the joke.
That's pretty funny.
We just passed the sign for the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, which, by the way, I don't know if we talked about this. Bonneville Shoreline Trail is just an A away from being STBA,
Bast.
which is soprano, alto, tenor, bass, which would be a great choir.
It's a great choir. As it stands, with no altos, you can't really have a complete choir.
Yeah, but let's be serious. Of all the parts of a choir,
The altos are the most expendable.
they're the most disposable.
Should we talk about the clues that came out?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna catch my breath.
Stay left here.
I don't know.
Okay. Sure.
Well,
We'll just-
let me pull up the clues real quick. Should we figure out where we are first?
Hey, if people were wondering, we're looking at a trail sign right now, and horses are allowed, bikes are allowed, and hikers are allowed. But no shooting, no cars,
That's good.
and by the looks of it,
Christian said something dumb here.
great, I already gave myself something to edit out.
Yeah. So the hints, the bonus hint before the other 2. What year did Dominguez Escalante expedition happen?
1776, New
Hint
York
2.
City.
Why New York City?
I'm just quoting
a
a
Hamilton
reference.
reference.
Oh my gosh. Have I said this on the podcast?
You don't like Hamilton?
I did. Well, I haven't seen the whole thing. I saw the first 20 minutes of the Disney version.
Yeah.
and it just made me cringe the entire time.
So I want to be clear. You understand Disney is just streaming the normal version.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
like
No,
they
it's
created
a
a new one.
live version.
Okay, yeah.
It's a live recording, but I've heard it's better live, so I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. The musical is better live than the Disney recording of it.
Of it live.
Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. That's what I've heard. Okay, Tommy told me that.
Oh, well.
Okay, second
Hot
hint.
take, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy.
Second hint. American colonists called British soldiers lobsterbacks during the American Revolution because of their bright red military uniforms. Obviously, we have the way we're interpreting that for this trail that we're on now, and we'll get to that.
Which
But
I
what
love, by
else
the
came
way.
to mind?
Okay,
Besides your current interpretation, what else came to mind with the lobsterbacks?
so you guys know this because I was texting you and I was saying, guys,
Well, yeah.
I was
You go.
freaking out because early in the hunt, I had a thought about lobsters being British soldiers. I remembered that from like history. Something about now I thought they were just called lobsters, not lobsterbacks.
The earliest
Well,
person.
what you told us was that you had this solve, and you said this would be great if,
Exactly.
yeah.
So I had to solve
If the
earlier
lobsters were
that I was
British.
like, man, if lobsters meant British soldiers, this would work perfectly. And I remember having that thought, and then I was like, well, that's not going to be it. So I threw it away. And then when I saw this clue, I was losing it in the text thread with Chad and Kaden. I was like, guys,
Are you?
I have a solve. It's somewhere in my head. I know it.
Well, you eventually remembered. Are you sure that what you remembered was
Yeah, I did.
a
So
little bit of a letdown?
yeah, and I'll tell you guys what it is. So the thought I had originally with the solve is that because in years past, John and Dave have used street names for like the clue that leads you to the trailhead. So they
first
didn't do
year,
that
right?
last year, and so I was like, maybe they'll do it again this year. And so my thought was the Goonies movie took place on the Oregon coast. And the Bonneville Shoreline Trail runs along the mountain range, and it's kind of like an unofficial coastline, right? It's literally the shoreline trail. So my thought was, I'm gonna try to find like an Oregon street, or even like it was like recorded on Cannon Beach in Oregon. It's like I'm gonna look for that, and I did, and I found one that is right next to a trailhead in Provo. So I was like, oh, this is exciting. Found it. It's literally the closest street you can get to a trailhead. The trail originates from Oregon Street. And then right next to Oregon Street, the trail that meets, the street that meets it, there's a, oh guys, I'm seeing it.
What?
Seeing
What
what?
we were
the
looking
sign?
for. Yep.
Oh, that's
yeah,
it.
baby.
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay,
that was
wait.
closer
Yeah, it's closer than
than
I
I
thought.
thought.
So real quick,
Should we pause?
so yeah, the street that connects Oregon Street was Washington Avenue. I was like, you know, if there was anyone who ate the lobsters, who like destroyed them, it was General Washington. Caden, go.
I don't remember.
Oh,
What is it?
wait, how's that go in Hamilton?
That's what I can't remember. I don't know.
Here comes the
here comes the general.
Da, 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 da.
Something, yeah.
It
Ladies
sounds-
and gentlemen,
oh my
the
gosh,
moment
guys,
you've been waiting for.
that tune sounds just unbelievable. I
General
can't
Washington, we are outgunned, outmanned.
Barf, dude.
Out something outplanned.
Cha-cha-cha-cha. We're gonna need it. I'll make something
An
stand.
all-time stand.
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna need a right hand man.
Anyways,
Okay, sorry. So that's when I was thinking, oh, what if lobsters and ice cream are just supposed to take us to this trailhead? And I got pretty excited, and then I forgot
So was
about it.
there an ice cream
Well,
thing other than the Goonies being?
no, that was
in-
just getting the Goonies
Yeah,
reference.
yeah,
Yeah.
did you guys see? Obviously, I didn't mention it, so I didn't think it was anything. But there's a British military protractor that they use. That is, it measures distance, obviously in kilometers and,
Let's
and
take
meters.
let's take a sit here for a second.
Yeah, we'll take a little break. We
It
made
looks-
it to the sign that we were.
It looks just like your math protractor, but it's specifically made for the British military, and it's used to measure distances out on
Oh, really?
trails. Yeah.
I did not know that.
So, found that, thought that was kind of cool. What do you?
So I'm going to be honest
Okay,
with you. We're
I'm
not going to
looking
be
at the back.
super specific about what this is, what we're looking at for now.
But
Because if people knew what we were looking at right now,
They would be out here with us.
they would drop everything.
we have found a 1776. Can we say that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
But how are they gonna? How are they gonna find that?
that's a good point.
There's no way they're gonna find that.
Okay, so if this is not the right trail, if this is not the right clue for this area, then in my opinion, this is the greatest coincidence in the history that we've ever encountered.
It's, yes, for sure.
Because where is this? Is it on the front or is it on the back?
It's on the back.
What color is this sign?
Red.
It's red.
Would you say it's dull red or would you say it's bright red?
It looks
It's
like a
bright
lobster.
red. It also has bullet.
And on the back of this bright red sign, what does it say in big black letters?
1776.
What are the freaking odds that this number, this year, would be printed on the back of
The
this
back of a lobster red sign.
this lobster red sign?
I love
All right.
it.
Should
Okay,
we?
we-
Whoa. Where is it from now? Like, what does your solve do?
Oh, at this
from-
point, I have no idea what to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So,
This is all we had, but
Okay.
it's
so
good.
do you feel? I feel.
Pitch blackness.
Here's one thing I like about this. I was worried that this sign was going to be too far up the trail, that it wouldn't quite constitute what they said of being like, hey, these two lines are to find the right trail that you're supposed to be on.
Sure.
But really, this was a 5-minute hike from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
parking lot to where we're at now. And that's with Chad moving really slow. If you're not, so you're not here, so you can't visualize what's going on. Caden and I are actually 30 yards ahead of
So
Chad,
stupid.
and we're breathing fine. Chad is bent over on all fours, just gassed. And
I'm actually ahead of them.
he's on a mute sometimes, but he's asked for his mummy. So we're
Mummy?
going to see how far we can get.
Mummy.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking at this point, guys. We have the awesome way that we got to this trail, and I want to be super clear. We didn't get to this trail by just finding the sign. We had very clear things that, like a clear solve that led us to this general area.
Look at this giant boulder.
This is a giant
That's
boulder.
distinctive. Is there anything about it?
Unless that's a sunrise, then no. Because the
Okay.
next line that we're looking for
Yeah,
here
where are we at?
is where we want to start our measurement. And we want to start our measurement is when we can see the sunrise again, correct?
We're literally
Correct.
walking toward.
We are walking east right now.
So,
Are we at that point that we identified earlier or
like,
not yet?
yeah, come look at this map with me, my friends.
All right, let's keep the discussion to a minimum while we're right next to each other. You know what I mean?
Okay, so here, look at the map, but go really far away.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm getting annihilated by mosquitoes.
Oh, this is pretty close.
Christian said something dumb here.
Like many mosquitoes.
I don't know. Okay, so that's where we are.
I would just like to understand the burns that are cast my way.
Christian said something dumb here.
They're so small.
Yeah, but I've got
Okay.
like 1,000 of them apparently.
Yeah, because they're so small, they miss up. They're like, is that his finger?
Christian said something dumb here.
Okay, so guys, here, look, Chad. So like we're headed east right here at this point.
This is where we
Now we're gonna head south,
Oh, yeah.
and we're gonna go back up, and then head east again. Where we hit
So
that
that's where
point
you
is where we're
think-
gonna start our measurement from.
All right.
Okay.
So, should we talk through how we got to this trail?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so in talking about this, there's not going to be any way that we're not going to be able to reveal the trail we're on.
Really?
Yeah, so
You
basically,
could say an airport and
yeah. Which airport do you think we're talking about?
well, there's
Which cross in the middle, on the top of a hill, do you think they're going to think we're referring to?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we just heard a sound from the bushes.
Yep.
Dave?
If you're a cougar, you legally have to tell us that you're a cougar.
I don't think it was. Yeah, it was funny.
Okay. Yeah, the mosquitoes are atrocious right now.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So, here's a big thing that I haven't heard anyone mention. And this actually came from our dear coworker, Claire Roper, who discovered this. Haven't
Shout out
The
to
hat lady.
The
hat
girl.
lady. Hat. I don't know if she wants to be called the hat lady.
Christian said something dumb here.
Okay. Claire, we're going to edit that out, but I don't want you to think it was said anything bad. It was very, you would have left. Okay. So, Cortez's motto that he had was never give up. No, let me start over again. That's wrong. Okay,
It was follow the cross.
yes. So Cortez had a motto.
Here's another distinctive boulder.
Yes, Chad is pointing out all the rocks. Cortez's motto, which he carried on a big banner while they were in Mexico, said, follow the cross. So everyone's been in this area, but this is a very nice and cool connection from Cortez to Escalante and Dominguez, right? And I think people have kind of struggled to connect those groups up and really at this point. But finding something from Cortez on his banner and his really motto and connecting that to the giant Escalante cross, I think is a pretty cool connection. So that's the shadow that we're going to follow. Now this is nothing new because tons of people have been on this anyways. But what most people have been doing is they've been taking a look at that cross and they've been flipping it because the shadow of the cross points west, northwest, away from the mountains. People have either been following that all the way to Salt Lake County, which is the first. Chad saw another rock.
boulder.
So following that shadow all the way to Salt Lake County, or they've been flipping it to go into Spanish Fork. We're going to do neither of those. We're going to follow the cross in the shadow as directed. And on that line, we're going to cross up through Provo and pretty precisely, as much as I could do it, right to Provo Airport. Now, what's at Provo Airport, you say? Well, airplanes, mosquitoes. This is not good content. I need to take a breath. You guys got to start talking, so I talk so much.
Well, you're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to
But
say
you could be
about
like,
that?
nice, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
How'd you come up with that?
the what airport?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to follow the shadow of the cross
What?
up to Provo Airport.
Oh. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'll stop doing that.
I'm like very nervous about a mountain lion right now.
I also am. That's why I picked up this
I noticed that.
this
That was
small
a good,
boulder.
That was a good call.
Yeah.
So the
Look
reason
at that stick. That's a perfect cougar hitting stick, Caden.
Well, this
It is.
canyon that
Both
we're
my
in right
hands
now.
are
Oh, Caden did you just fall?
full. I almost just ate
Let
it.
me see where we are on the map. This is a lot scarier than I was expecting.
Yeah, no, I'm a little scared.
I think this might be the actual trail where that cougar video
It
was
is.
filmed.
This is
no, it's not.
100%.
Dude, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I don't think the cougar from 7 years ago was like, this is my place.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
just a matter of time
it's
between three men.
It's ancestors, though.
It's ancestors. You mean like it's descendants?
Posterity.
You think its grandpa was like, my grandson almost got one. Okay.
I think it would be better to come back in the day. I don't say this out of fear. I say this out of reason and logic.
No, we're going. Press on.
All right, let's keep going.
Do you think Cortez stopped when he was a little bit scared?
No, he followed the cross.
Do you think Escalante and Dominguez?
They found a civilization of cannibals.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the solve. At Provo Airport, there is a very large control tower. Now, unlike Salt Lake City Airport, where these are commonplace, Provo Airport just has one main control tower. It is right near, like, the beach of Utah Lake, like the left side of the Provo Airport, if you're looking up from Spanish Fork. It's very much a tower. And if we're thinking about something lighthouse lounge related, I can't think of a better thing that resembles a lighthouse than a large control tower near the
Near a
beach
body
of
of
a lake,
water. Yeah.
which is used to direct aircraft and to make sure that they arrive and land safely.
It's good. I like it.
So
I mean,
it's
the-
similar.
honestly, it's the closest thing that we're going to find to an actual lighthouse
Yeah,
within the
absolutely.
boundary.
And the shadow of the cross leads you directly there. Okay, now, the reason most people have overlooked this is because it's like, great, We know the treasure and the trailhead is not at Provo Airport. But this is where things get a little funky. Okay?
Although, is that west of I-15?
It is. But he never said that all the clues...
That's true. That's true. He deliberately said that, though.
In fact, the way he said it makes me feel it's more likely that there is a clue
That's
west
true.
of I-15.
That's true.
Also, do you remember one of the last things they said in their poker video when they took off?
Jog my memory.
He said, we got a flight to catch.
Oh, that's true.
Like, it's such a weird thing to say. It's just a throwaway line.
That is true.
Had a flight to catch. Lighthouse Lounge.
I love
Airport.
it. I love this even more now. I didn't even think about that.
I text this, but you don't read my text messages.
You texted the flight to catch line?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
You did say this right after sending us like 300 lines of just rhymes to a Les Mis song.
Hey, guys, get ready.
Get ready for that. It is going to be...
Wait,
straight
it's
fire.
not Les Mis, is it? What?
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Les Mis.
It is Les Mis. Do
Yeah.
you guys want to give
Hamilton
them a
next
sneak
year.
peek?
Oh, we did Hamilton last year, actually.
Yeah, we did. So
Yeah, we're done with Hamilton.
now here's the question. Okay, what do you do at this airport control tower? Because the trail's not obviously there. So this is where I'm taking
You
a
follow
lead.
the shadow again.
So you could follow the shadow again. That's a possibility because the shadow of the airport control tower is pointing east towards the mountains.
There's really nothing that would give a clue to follow it again, though.
Yeah, unless like there's been some references to double, right? But yeah, like I agree.
Like the double A's and
Yeah.
the double...
But you know what is right here in the poem? The lowercase d. Right? Which they said from the beginning was something important, something you need to look for.
Cue the Chad small penis jokes.
Nope. But it's interesting you said that yourself, unsolicited. So,
Hey, have you noticed that?
it's still small, yeah.
Oh,
So go ahead.
I was going to say Caleb spells Q wrong whenever he says in the general thread.
Q.
Yeah.
He
That's
spells
okay.
it C-U-E.
That's okay. That's a fun reference for Claire, our coworker. Okay. So this lowercase d, I believe, is a sign for delta, and a lowercase delta sign, like delta, like the Greek alphabet, means is represented by a triangle. I think we're supposed to triangulate the location of the trailhead. And the line where that delta or that triangle is referenced is right here, where we are at the Lighthouse Lounge. So,
So we have not turned away from the sun where we are yet.
not quite.
Yet.
An additional reason why I think we triangulate is because the hint in the poker video of 90, 30, 60, 936. As you all know, every triangle adds up to the same amount of degrees.
How
which
many
is
degrees, you ask? 180.
180 degrees. And a perfect triangle is one that is exactly 30, 90, and 60 degrees, which is exactly the numbers they spelled out for us there. So in this solve, the way we're looking at that is an additional clue to use a triangle to locate the start of the trail. So if we, from the airport control tower, go straight across on that same latitude, we are going to come pretty darn close. Not exactly, within about a third of a mile, quarter of a mile to this trailhead. So I do want to point out that flaw. It's not like exactly. Technically, it's like 91 degrees to get up to where the trailhead we're at right now. So, what do
Is
you
that
think?
it?
Do you
I
think?
love it.
I think we are currently sitting where the big question marks are. We're literally just looking for a switchback. That is the turn
Takes
away
us
from
back
the sun or
east.
whatever.
Yep. So this trail that we're on, we found the sign that we were looking for lobsterbacks. We are now proceeding up the trail. We've gone to the portion in which we're going east. Then the trail goes south. And then we're right at the point where it's about to go,
Ominous sound, yeah.
go
No, I'm
east
coming
again.
over here. That was scary.
That was water.
It's water going through a pipe, but still scary.
Yeah. So it kind of looks like at this point we're going over a dry creek
Yeah.
or a rocky road, you might say.
This is the second one that is like this. Where you peed was like that as well.
Yep.
So
Okay, so let's look at the map.
Creek's not so dry anymore. Oh, sorry.
okay.
It's ominous.
See, that's a scary sound.
it's a scary sound.
Oh,
So
dude,
this
lights
is
in the
where
eyes.
we just turned south.
Hey,
We
Fun
haven't turned
fact.
back east yet.
Yep, we have.
you guys know why pirates wore eye patches when they didn't have lost eyes?
So they could see at night.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be something with the joke of being R, like they'd have cataracts.
Which I didn't really understand because doesn't it get dark slowly? Like,
No, it was
or
so
is it like when they were below deck or something?
below deck or on watch, or I mean, it was for night battles.
Yeah, I guess they had like lanterns and torches and stuff.
Okay,
So
so
their
This is
pupils
where
would
we're
be-
switching, turning away, right? We got
not
here.
quite.
yet,
So
not
right
yet.
here, we're doing these switchbacks, but where this trail right here turns east again.
I'm really
That's where we're
scared of
gonna
that
measure.
pipe. Okay.
Okay, so just to quickly summarize why I have my breath. Escalade across, follow the cross, going to the control tower at Provo, using the delta to go straight across on that latitude, leading us to this trailhead. Now the big exciting find, which I have to credit a friend on Reddit for telling me about this sign, and I got really excited because our solve was already to this area, is just about 5 minutes up the trail, there's a big red sign that goes across the whole trail. That
On a
is meant
big,
to
well, it's
block
on a gate,
vehicles.
a big red gate that goes across with a big red sign.
Yeah, big red gate. And it's like bright red. It's not like a dull red, it's bright red. And on the back of this gate, in very large black letters, like, I don't know, each letter is like almost a foot in size. It's
Maybe
printed
8 inches.
1776.
Yeah.
So if you've been following the clues and the hints, that shouldn't surprise you why we got all
Hot and bothered.
all three of us got tresurrections at that point.
Bringing back the pun, the original pun.
Christian said something dumb here.
Oh. Okay. Are you done with your solve? Because we did skip the hint, the first hint.
Yeah, let's go
in the
back
email.
to the hint.
Do we have anything else to say?
No, I'm done talking for a while.
Okay, so the first hint, we already talked about the British soldiers being called lobsterbacks. I would like to have a discussion about what else that could mean, because that's a big hint, and how much have we discussed that?
A lot of people are thinking Red Butte. I think that's too on the nose.
Red Butte, just
There's
because
there's an area
there-
behind by the U called Red Butte.
Red Butte.
I know, but what does Red Butte have to do with?
Red and your butt.
They had butts that were red.
The butt's on the back.
I mean,
Except for your Grand Aunt Marge, her
They
butt's
also-
on the front too.
they also had red in the front, though.
I know, but it's lobster backs.
Okay.
I think that's way
I'm
too
okay
on the
with
nose.
that, but yeah. The first hint was the distance you need to measure on the trail can be found in the book, a book that Escalante and Dominguez probably had with them. So what does this mean?
This is
They're
the
talking
hardest
about the Bible
is-
and the journal?
This is, I don't know if they meant to make this as confusing as it has been to the community.
This is very confusing.
because
Now
first
we-
off, they say probably had with them.
Yeah, the probably
Yeah.
is like, okay, the Bible, right? The probably is what makes me think the Bible.
Yeah, and not the journal because we know they had the journal with them.
So are we talking about the journal and the Bible? What do you guys think?
We're
Or
talking
one or
about-
the other?
Oh, I don't think it's the journal unless probably was like tongue in cheek. Like, I bet they probably had this with them. Yeah, of course they gave us
Maybe.
the journal.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would do that because tone doesn't come across. And at this point, I think they're
And I
trying
think
to get
they're
us
trying to
yeah.
make it as findable as possible.
Oh,
Now, there's books besides the Bible that they may have had with them as Franciscan priests. They could have had a breviary, which is a prayer book that people would carry with them.
I mean, if we're going that direction, I think the Bible makes a lot more sense.
They also may have had a copy of Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Catcher in the Rye, and
And the Hunger Games.
The Outsiders.
They love themselves a pony boy.
R.I.P. Pony Boy.
I do not get that reference at all.
When you're married, you'll understand what
It's
a pony boy is.
it's a literary joke.
So I think most people think it's the Bible, but there's a lot of numbers in the Bible.
I'm quite out of breath.
In fact, there's a whole book called the Book of Numbers.
What if it was the Spanish Bible? Wasn't there? So there's like the
Well,
King
in that
James.
case, it would be called the Book of Numeros. But yeah, good point, Chad.
No. There's King James version. Is there a Spanish version?
Yeah. It's
What's it called?
It's the queen. It's a queen. It's La Reina something. What is it?
Elizabeth?
No, what is it? I can't remember.
Spanish queen.
The one
Yeah,
that we
it's in
used, the
Spanish.
version that I used on my mission was La Reina Freak. I can't remember.
De Carmel? That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
You did not use a different version than us.
I didn't. I know. I'm saying we use the same one. We don't use the King James version because the King James version is the English version.
Okay. I don't remember what that was.
I know. It was a queen something.
Really?
I can't remember.
I thought it was
I
a
don't want to
king.
look it up because I'm afraid it'll stop recording.
Okay,
on my
Mine's
phone.
still recording. And I'm
so
in Slack.
if we're talking about the Bible, then we have to think, okay, either it has to be something very clear to tell us where in the Bible to look. There's a couple options there. You could say, is page 1776 of the Bible? Is there a number there?
I think that's too hard. I think page numbers are too hard.
Is the references of the jacks and the 9 and the 3-6 also trying to tell us a scripture reference? Like chapter 9, verse 36.
Have you seen anybody talking about that?
Yeah, I've actually looked this
Been
up quite
looking
a
that
bit.
up.
There is Judges is interesting enough. In Judges, it's like I think 639 or something, or 936 of Judges. It says something about not a number, but it talks about following the shadow, which is interesting.
Really?
Yeah, and it also mentions the tops of the mountains, following the shadow from the tops of the mountains, which the translation from Navajo, nope, that's not true. The translation from Ute language of Utah means tops of the mountains, which is interesting. But no number in there. Unless Judges is supposed to tell us the number of Supreme Court justices, and that's the number.
It's almost like John and Dave rightfully are trying to make this harder, obviously. But the more clues they give us, thinking that it'll get us closer, just gives us more things to intertwine.
It just opens in
Like
new-
to compare to each other. Now we have two books. How many different things we possibly can measure off of? It's getting so much more confusing, I feel like.
Yeah,
And obviously they don't intend this.
if in like John, like 9:36, it very clearly said like 7, then that would be one thing, right? Like I don't think that's too far-fetched. Or, Jack is another word for Jacob. In Jacob 3 or something like that, 6 verse 39, I don't know. Or because there's 2 Jacks, 2 John. I think that could be something, but from what I could see, none of those scripture references really showed us anything. All right, let's pause and look where we are on the map.
Should we stop and finish this episode?
Yeah, that's probably good.
Oh,
We almost need to re-record
and
it. This might be unbearable to listen to.
No, I think it's
no,
fine.
it's fine.
It's short enough that.
There's some helpful stuff. You do have a decent solve. Here's a question I'm going to pose before or after I
Oh, yes.
take a look around and see if I see any glowing eyes. Do you think, okay, so obviously last year's treasure was leaked somehow. Do you think that if they just gave us the trailhead, obviously you'd have a ton of people coming out. But even from the trailhead, just knowing the trailhead, there's still so much more work to do.
Yep.
So if John and Dave just said the trailhead next Friday,
I think the problem
do you
would
think it'd be found super fast? I really don't.
I think people might just brute force it and destroy the beautiful nature Like they're just going to get all their buddies,
That's what
walk
they're doing anyways.
just off the trail and just like bushwhack it through the whole trail. But the problem is without them giving like us a way to get specifically to the spot, or at least like fairly close to the spot, it becomes like a bushwhacking adventure anyways. Because right now what we're about to do is measure the distance, and the distance could be 0.33 miles. It could be 0.33 leagues. It could be 0.33 of a biblical mile, right? Which happens to be 936 meters.
I have a question. Why have you tried doing that measurement from the spot we're going to see where it takes us?
Yeah, then this is it right here. That's what I did.
I know, but you did the measurement and you see a point where we're going to go?
Yeah. So this is the point that if we want to do 0.33 miles, the problem is I almost don't think that's right anymore. Because it used to be the age at which he arrived is what I observe. So, and that's why at that point, everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, like 0.33 miles sounds good.
Yeah.
But now they've told us there's a certain way to measure that is found in the Bible.
Yeah. Who knows?
Now, but we also know that they said in the hint that there's a way that Long John Silver and Indiana Jones would measure things. Is that the same unit of measurement that is found in the Bible? Is what's found in the Bible the actual number? And if it's the actual number, it should be the same thing as when he arrived, and that being Cortez.
Yeah. It feels so convoluted at this point. I don't like it.
That's going to be on Chad's tombstone.
I don't like it.
It's a joke.
You don't like it either.
No, I mean, I like the solve. I just...
Right here is where I don't like it. I feel like
measurement
every
makes it
time
tough.
we've come out, we get to this point where it's like, well, let's just start walking off into the wilderness now. Definitely don't want to do that right now in this darkness.
No, I do think this is pretty clearly the spot of the trail that you go east again.
Yeah, are we there? Did you just look at?
Yeah, and we walked actually a little past it.
Okay.
So here's the trail that you would go on. We come down, we
Right.
come up, and then we are headed dead east again.
Yeah.
So this is where I'd want to start my measurement as the crow flies. And say we wanted to do 0.33 miles. That would take us right there.
But it's not miles.
That's
We know it's meters and we know it's kilometers.
Yeah, but it
Or
still
we
could
know.
translate to like so let's do this exercise.
Maybe you multiply it by 20 because of the 2 jacks.
No.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We're going to strategize here. We'll stop recording and then we'll come back once we find the treasure.
60 minutes later.
Okay, well, we're back in the car. How you guys feeling?
I feel like my legs just barely got me back. Like there now, I don't know if I'll be able to get us home.
It was a struggle.
I feel like Stephen Hawking from the waist down.
We just made it back to the car. We're doing a quick wrap up. We came up empty-handed.
If you can't tell.
Yeah. But yeah, just keep fighting, keep at it. We definitely haven't lost the faith, but
We have absolutely no idea how the audio from that is going to turn out. So if it was bad, we apologize, but it's better now.
Don't leave us bad reviews.
Just don't do it. We tried. We put ourselves
we're
out
doing
there.
our best.
We're not doing entirely our best, but we are putting in a good, honest effort. And if we find the treasure, we'll buy new mics. So everyone, if you could just back off the treasure.
Wait.
If you want good audio, then give us the treasure.
Did I share that review that guy said? He said, start a GoFundMe and get new effing mics or something like that.
He used the F word?
Did he?
I hope so.
Did I share it?
You
don't
did. I don't remember the
I don't think he
but-
said that.
So just a really quick summarize, because I feel like it was a little bit disjointed on the trail, because we were literally hiking up 90 degrees. It was the steepest trail we've
It
ever
was
gone
very
through.
steep.
So Cortez's motto was to follow the cross. We followed the shadow of the cross to the Provo airport, to the control tower, which is the lighthouse right there on the beach. We, looking at the small d and the clues of 90, 30, 60, say to triangulate, can never say that word, the location. So going across that latitude line, that took us over to the mouth of Slate Canyon in Provo. And the mouth of Slate Canyon, about 3 to 5 minutes up the trail, there's a big red gate that is for blocking motorized vehicles, and is bright red. And on the back of the gate in big black letters is 1776. So that's what got us really excited. I feel like the solve was really strong up to that point.
Yeah, from there it kind of fell apart, but it was fun. I mean, it was dark too, which made it hard for us to...
I mean, I still think it's possible. We just didn't have firm solves for the measurements. It was more like we started walking up there and
we didn't have
we hope this is the spot where you could see the best view.
Now, that being said, there was a spot clearly at the trail, because the whole trail up there, you can't see back down the trail. It's just a very covered trail. And
we were looking back the whole time.
Yeah, but
looking for a good view.
There was one clear spot where you could see the city, and that spot also happened to be like
the best place to hide a treasure on that hole. And we poked around there for a good while.
Yeah, a good 30 minutes. So it's hard to do it at night. There's still a good chance it's up there. I think we're going to release this episode and just say, screw it. We're going to tell everyone where the solve is. If people want to come up here and give it a shot, they can. We obviously are in the same boat as a lot of people, in which we just can't figure out the frickin' measurements.
Probably come in daytime.
Yeah, daytime would be good. Morning would be good. That hike in the afternoon would be brutal.
Yeah.
It's very steep.
Ken, do you want to say the thing about the Spanish Bible?
Oh yeah, I remembered the name of the Bible. It was the La Reina Valera. That's the version. And we just looked it up. It was published in 1609, I think is what it said.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. There's that.
I just think it's interesting because everyone's been looking at the King James Bible.
Oh no, 1602, sorry.
1602. Everyone's been looking at the King James Bible and which makes sense, it's in English, right? So people are wanting to read it if they don't speak Spanish. But the Bible that they would have actually had with them would have been that translation of the Bible. So the translation date or some other prominent date on it, I think would be really interesting.
Yeah, so it was originally, the Reina Valera version was 1602, but that was revised from an earlier version in 1569.
Which is getting to the time of like Cortez. Like, I mean, not quite, but it's in the 16th century.
So
we're now dealing though with like, I guess this would follow what they've been doing with that clue where they were like Indiana Jones and who are the other people? Jack Sparrow
and Long John Silver.
Long John Silver. We have like multiple heroes of history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're doing something intentional with multiple individuals.
Yeah. I saw like the Jacks, like the 4 Jacks or something, because maybe need the 4th hero from that, like...
Right,
I kind of thought it could be John Glenn. The reason why is because of the moon landing thing on the back, and like all the references to John's.
I think I would laugh for a second, but in retrospect, the aftertaste, I would hate that. I would be like, what are you guys doing?
John freaking Glenn? Not even Neil Armstrong?
Oh, man. Well, any final, like, anything other than this solve we want to discuss on this podcast or this episode?
I want to make sure to give props to, we had to solve everything that led to this canyon, but the person who cued me into the sign is a guy named Desperate Shirt 9444. So
those automatic Reddit handles.
I don't know your name, man, but thanks for telling me about the sign. And hopefully it's okay to tell people, because you didn't necessarily tell me not to tell people, and I know you've been up to search for it here as well. So, I mean, tell us what your thought of the solve is. Is the triangulation too mathy? And they said you could fail math, right? Like, is that weird? Do you like the control tower for the lighthouse? What are your thoughts?
I will say, totally forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay.
I did want to make the point again, though, and I think we were off. We weren't recording when I said this. Just make the case for John and Dave to release the trailhead. Because honestly, there's so much after the trailhead. I really don't think, even if you have a bunch of people combing through it all, I really don't think it'll be that easy to find, just because there's still a lot to do. And the only comparable hunt we've had to this one was last year. And the entire, from trailhead to where the treasure is, was leaked, right? We don't know what a difficult solve is going to truly be like.
Yeah. I think it's
what I
fair
mean?
to say that the next hint, if it's not found by Friday, the next hint's got to be the measurement. It's got to be something to us, because unless you have that, I mean, it's
I think
just...
they're more likely to give us county or trailhead before measurement.
Really, because the measure, like you said, everyone can know the right trail, and if you don't have the measurement, it's just a freaking wild goose chase. Because 30 to 60 feet off the trail, the whole
Right, the
like
whole
anywhere,
way.
like it could
For
be three
90
miles.
minutes? Yeah.
It's a fool's errand.
This whole thing might be a fool's
Yeah,
errand.
but you know what? There's no one else I'd rather be
What?
a fool with than you two.
Fool around
I'd
with.
love
so.
nothing. There's not two other men on earth that I'd love to fool around with more.
We're up here on the mountain at night, fooling around.
At
There
night,
are people
yeah.
in this parking lot fooling around.
I would, and that includes us. But I can guarantee I'm having more pleasure
Oh my gosh.
with you two guys here in this car tonight.
He did say we raw dogged it up the trail.
We did. No water. Just 3-man roggy dog in it.
Roggy dogging. Just playing that tickle bum.
Oh man, we love you guys. Thanks for listening.
We're sad.
This might be the last episode. Regardless, we might be at our wits' end.
I'm so tired. Should we end this?
Yeah.
Let's go get a Powerade
Let's
and
end
a
it.
Crunch bar.
I'd love to go to McDonald's and a Crunch bar.
Why Crunch bar?
Doesn't a Powerade and a Crunch bar sound incredible right now?
I'm going to get a 1 a.m. hot dog.
Okay. Well,
You
with
can
that-
come on, dude. A
No,
1
I'm
a.m.
not
hot
going
dog?
to say anything about it. I'm going to let that one just slide.
Christian said something dumb.
Oh, that's the intro joke.
No,
that is for
one's
sure.
going to get cut.
No!
Yeah.
Dude!
No, that one's cut.
All right, whatever.
Okay, we love you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And someone help us out. Find the treasure and buy us some new microphones. Okay. We'll catch you on the next one outside.